Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. We're taking a look at Zi-O episode 30, Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger episode 4, and Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode 5. Let's get the heavy one out of the way. Zi-O 30. Yeah, we learned exactly why White was decided to create another blade today. Yeah, the reason why he specifically chose Amane to turn into another blade is because he wants to destroy the world. Yeah, basically, here's what happened. Yeah, for those who haven't seen Blade, the reason why Kenzaki and Hajime fighting each other last time was such a horrible thing was because they were both the Joker undead. For those who haven't seen Blade, the Joker undead was a okay, it's a long convoluted thing. Basically, if the Joker undead was the final victor in something called the Battle Fight, which was a contest between certain species created by a godlike being to determine which species would become the dominant force on Earth. If the Joker won, then rocks fall, everybody dies to an army of roach monsters. So, yeah, because White was Samane specifically because, well, yeah, Hajime is, well, basically the closest thing she has to a father figure, and, well, he basically sees her as, well, like a daughter. So yeah, if Sogo and Gates decided to go and attack another blade, it would draw Hajime out of hiding and transform into Chalice in order to protect her, and thus drawing out Kenzaki since, well, Hajime is using the powers of the undead again, and yeah, since undead are compelled to fight each other as per their creation and rules of the battle fight. If Kenzaki and Hajime were to fight and one were to defeat the other, then the entire Earth would be destroyed by the Dark Roaches, which is what White Waz was going for. Since he figures that Gates is, he knows that Gates isn't going to kill Sogo and create the Gates Revive timeline at this point, so he figures, hey, I'm dying, my timeline's erased anyway, I'm dying, so might as well take as many suckers as I can with me. And again, how the hell Kenzaki and Hajime are able to transform into Blade and Chalice is just completely ignored since, again, anybody who's seen Blade knows that the undead cards, aside from Hajime's human undead card, were locked away by Board at the end of the show in order to make sure that a battle fight never happened again, trying to prevent another battle fight from happening again. So how did they get the cards back? It's never explained because the show and the writers hate us. Ugh. So yeah, now we know why another blade was created, but the question is, how are they going to deal with Amane, and how are they going to make sure that Hajime doesn't interfere again? Well, yeah, Kenzaki basically just first off, they actually managed to track down Hajime by the photo studios that another blade was attacking. They were actually studios that Hajime used to work at before he just decided to move on to other ones just to keep himself moving. And we learned the reason why Hajime decided not to stay around with Amane, because he figured that without her, that if he wasn't around, she would basically he figured that he was basically keeping her from becoming the person that she was meant to be, or something like that. I don't know. Basically, they try to explain that like Hajime was just basically coddling her and holding her back or something like that, but yeah, no, Hajime's just an idiot. Hajime is basically portrayed as a deadbeat dad who walked down on his surrogate daughter for some convoluted reason, because the writers of this show don't pay attention. But yeah, other than that, Amane actually stopped her attacks because, yeah, she realizes why Hajime left because, okay, yeah, basically the way she phrases it is a little bit better. Basically, Hajime wanted her to grow up without depending on him to save her all the time. Yeah, you can get that sentiment there. Basically, But again, Hajime, you basically left her without a father, and we all know how Amane without you around turned out if you've seen Kamen Rider Blade Missing Ace. Which also explains why Kaito's there, since that movie was the basis for his homeworld, and yeah, da 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 da. But yeah, long story short, she wasn't going to transform into another blade willingly, since yeah, Hajime's back and she's calmed down, and she realized why he left in the first place, stupid though it may be. But White Waz isn't having it. He wants his apocalypse, so he forces her to transform into another blade. And here's where the show I'm just giving up. I'm giving up trying to decipher the logic of this stupid show. Amane, using the powers of another blade, somehow manages to steal Kenzaki and Hajime's Joker abilities. Yeah, they stop bleeding green. She has the powers of both Jokers, and somehow that makes her the ultimate winner of the battle fight. And since she's technically the third Joker, the Stone of Sealing shows up and prepares to, not only infest the world with dark roaches, but they all no, it's not just the dark roaches. They all molt into full-blown Joker undeads. An army of Jokers. And that's definitely not going to put a smile on anybody's face. Yeah. Again, how in the wide world of sports is Amane able to do that? We know that another blade is basically the powers of the undead, and again, another blade. This has been bugging me ever since Kenzaki transformed. How do we have another blade while the original is still around? I'm guessing it was because Amane was turned into another blade back in 2000 this year, 2019, whereas before the previous and other writers were created in the years that they were in action. Again, it's kind of borrowing from the same thing with when another Zi-O was created, and Sogo himself was still Zi-O. I'm guessing that if another writer is created outside of the year where the writer they're borrowing powers from is active, basically, say, for example, if it's if another Den-O was created back in 2007, okay, no wait, that's a bad example. Say if another Double was made in 2010, the year when Double was active, if it was made in the present time, I'm guessing the writer would still be around. Just no. I've given up trying to break down this show's ridiculous, stupid moon logic. It clearly does. In the words of three guys stuck in a satellite mocking cheesy movies, they just didn't care. We rest our case. What do you think, sirs? Yeah, the writers just clearly don't care. They don't care. Why should I care? But yeah, I'm just here to. Yeah, I'm just stubborn, I guess. I don't know. All right. Anyways, when Sogo, Gates, and Black Waz confront White Waz about why they're doing this, Sogo gives him some really stupid reason. Yeah, basically, just we know you're doomed. Just keep going anyway. Just stick out to the end. Whether we win or we lose, just make sure you go out with gusto or something like. I don't know. Again, Sogo's logic is not well. And yeah, so how do they go and defeat another blade who has the power of both, not only the powers of another Kamen Rider blade, but also the two Jokers? Simple. White Waz goes and gives Sogo the new Ride Watch created from when the Zi-O2 Gates Revive and Waz came into contact with each other and created the Zi-O Trinity Ride Watch, which fuses Sogo, Gates, and Black Waz together to form this Gestalt monstrosity. And yeah, okay, there's a bit of I actually saw there was around the time when Zi-O Trinity was announced, there was this hilarious drawing of, well, anybody who's ever seen the anime Bobo, one of Bobo's abilities was to fuse with either Don Patch, Jelly Jiggler, or either of the two to create Patch Bobo, Mr. Bo Jiggler, or Patch Bobo Jiggler. Basically, it's the result is Zi-Obobo. Yeah, this looks like it does look like it does look like Zi-Obobo. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna refer to Zeo Trinity as Zi-Obobo. Yeah, all three of their minds are sharing the same body. Just they have to decide who's in control by basically just moving around the minute hand on this clock inside of the main head. It's it's weird. It's some sort of I don't know. So anyway, Zeo Trinity somehow manages to no Zi-Obobo. I'm still learning that. Zi-Obobo manages to just completely wipe out another blade, and somehow this results in the creation of not only the Blade Ride Watch but also the Chalice Ride Watch. So they don't even need to go back in time to create these new ride watches anymore. They could just turn into Zi-Obobo and just defeat the another rider if they were created this year. Is that how that works now, guys? Yeah, okay. You just do whatever you want now, aren't you? Ugh. And yeah, basically, now this is with the creation of Zi-Obobo. We have this is apparently now the new Omade. And yeah, since clearly Gates didn't kill Sogo, the Gates Revive timeline is wiped out. And yes, it's apparently confirmed that White Waz was from the Gates Revive timeline. He was telling the truth. He didn't have some ulterior motive there. So, wrong on that one. And, well, to wrap up the episode, Gates and Sogo actually encounter Kaito again, who manages to get his treasure and is now going to just go and do his own thing again. He manages to, Kaito's treasure is White Waz's future note. Yeah, it has a definitive name. It's called the Future Note. So, not only does he walk off with the Future Note, he opens up one of those. He opens up a tear and lets Sogo talk with Omazio again. And yeah, Omazio is also very happy that that his past self has the Blade Ride Watch now, since there's only 6 more left to go until he becomes Omazio entirely. The only ones left are Agito, Kabuto, let's see, Hibiki, Deno, Kiva, and Drive. Only 6 more ride watches left to go until it's crunch time. And yeah, next episode we're going to be dealing with Agito. And they finally settle what they're going to do with the Another Rider concept. Since there was already a common rider in the main show of Agito called Another Agito, they just go and repaint the original Another Agito outfit with the Another Rider trimmings. Tom, let's see, Tom, what was that again? They just didn't care. They just did not care. They just. I can say it over and over again, but you get the point. The show's stupid, and they have a fish. Yeah. Anyways, I need something easier to cheer myself up. Alright, let's move on to Power Rangers Beast Morphers Episode 5. Where, yeah, this actually shows both sides being somewhat competent and actually being, well, it's not just a standard dilemma. Okay, basically, here's what happens. Devin's dad has decided to go and give Devin a part-time job working at a car wash. Since, well, he figures, hey, Devin's just a lazy video game layabout, and, well, yeah, just go out there, you gotta start somewhere. And, of course, Devin can't, but, of course, this part-time job interferes heavily with Devin's ranger duties, but because of the stupid secret identity thing, he can't tell his dad about what he's really spending his time on, so he's forced to go and forced to have this part-time job. And I mean, it's not like he's having a bad time with it or anything. And in fact, Devin actually starts to bond with his dad a bit, since, well, it's basically how he got started, washing cars, basically, in his words, how do you think I pay for your dates with mom? And yeah, the two actually start bonding, and Devin basically feels that he's, well, starting to earn his dad's respect. Which again, if he has to keep bailing on it for his ranger duties without proper explanation, he loses the job at the end of the episode, and yeah, the disappointment from his dad is made perfectly clear. And yeah, it's not just some standard dilemma. And oh yeah, meanwhile on the villain side, Blaze gets the idea to go and create a new Robotron based off of a Buzztron or whatever it is, to basically go and to attack Morphex towers using the razor Gradio saw to cut through to the Morphex towers and steal tons of it in order to fuel Evox's escape from the Cyber Realm plan. And yeah, it actually, and because Roxy and no, uh, right, sorry, just still getting used to the names. Yeah, because Ravi and Zoe are trying to, hey, they're his teammates. They decide to go in down to the car wash to, basically just help Devin with a huge influx of cars to, yeah, help him keep the job because hey, they're friends. But of course, they're not dealing with idiots. Because of Scrozzle installing security cameras around the city as part of a rejected plan that he was proposing to Evox, which then got shut down for Blaze's Sawtron plan. They noticed that they left the communicators and their cell phones on a nearby chair. So Blaze teleports in and has Buzzsawtron destroy them. So while the three Rangers are distracted with cleaning the cars, Blaze and the Robotron could go and just tap a tower, which they do. It actually had to take the commander herself going down to the car wash in person and telling them, yeah, guys, I appreciate and all that, but appreciate helping out a friend, but there's a monster who's stealing energy. And yeah, they find the destroyed comlinks. And yeah, that basically finally convinces Devin that he has no choice but to drop the car wash gig, despite knowing that it was basically him finally starting to starting to bridge him and his dad together. Oh yeah, before I forget, while the villains were presented as competent, our heroes actually, well, aside from the whole thing with the car wash, but again, it was, well, okay, it wasn't exactly a stupid thing on the Rangers' part. It was, they didn't, they were just trying to help out, and they just didn't expect the security camera. So it's not exactly them being idiots either. Nate, finally figured out his name. Yeah, the tech kid. He's been trying to analyze the remains of the destroyed Giga drones in order to reverse engineer them in order to try and figure out how to combat Evox in his later production model and any new Giga drones and anything that Evox might send out. The problem is the remains of the Giga drones that were defeated, they're basically scrap metal without, unless basically all the necessary vital circuitry is completely fried. So what they are doing is basically collecting scrap metal. What he needs is a fully intact Giga drone in order to reverse engineer it and figure out what makes it tick. And well, hey, while Blaze and the Robotron are fighting against Ravi and Zoe, Scrozzle goes and sends down the Buzz drone Giga, the Buzzsaw Giga drone, and manages to siphon off manages to tap a fresh Morphex tower. And yeah, they managed to get away with a lot of Morphex before Devin manages to intercept it and neutralize it. I say neutralize because he doesn't destroy it. He basically renders it completely inert. but still intact enough for Nate to, basically the Rangers bring the defeated Gigadrone back to the lab, back to Grid Battle Force, in order for Nate to reverse engineer it and hopefully devise some new countermeasures against Evok's forces. Oh yeah, and while he was moving stuff out of the lab, we saw some very interesting parts. A nice little bit of foreshadowing there, but we'll see it when it happens. Anybody who's seen the episode, who's seen Go Busters, knows exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, all in all, a good episode. The heroes were Nate was presented as competent as reverse engineering the enemy, destroyed enemy tech. Our villains are especially competent for taking advantage of a perfect situation thanks to their spy network. And the Rangers themselves. Well, I mean, there was actual conflict between Devin wanting to, wanting to make sure his father was, actually trying to connect with his dad while, trying not to neglect his ranger duties. So, some actual actual conflict there. So, yeah, Beast Morphers is again proving to be a very bright ray of sunshine amidst a very dark, amidst a just general malaise. And speaking of malaise, we get to Ryusoulger 4. Okay, it does start to pick up there with, although unfortunately, it looks like Ko might be displaying some idiot hero traits. Well, okay, no. He's not being an idiot again. He's not being an idiot. He's just kind of more. Well, he's kind of being a little bit more goofy than, I think he probably should be, considering, seeing his master being killed right in front of him, I don't know, maybe this is some way for him to try and, I don't know, maybe he's just coping or something like that, I don't know. Basically, he runs into Towa and Bamba again, and is trying to get them to join up with the main group. The problem is that, Bamba is very standoffish and, the problem is that Towa is actually very similar to Ko, and that they're both acting like childish jerk-offs. No, they're just both very childish. It's just that Towa is much more standoffish and much more, kind of a snooty dillweed, whereas Ko is, he's trying to get to join them to look at the bigger picture, but Towa's being an immature brat, and Bamba, seeing Towa and Towa and Ko basically have their little pissing contest while the Venusaurs are running around causing chaos. He's not exactly going to be listening to him either, and Bamba basically just follows Towa's lead for reasons that are most likely going to be explained later, since an emphasis on this episode was basically how important family is. Bamba is, from what I can tell, is basically Towa's, Towa, Bamba is Towa's brother, so, basically he's being protective of him and mostly just following his lead, despite Towa being a little bit too keen on going for the quick kill solution. Case in point with today's Venusaur, a Kraken Venusaur, who has Gatling gun arms, and anybody that's hit by his projectiles falls into a very deep slumber. And the reason why is because this Venusaur was created from a dad whose son is in a coma, and basically the dad is way too busy to get any time to play with him. So basically the Venusaur focuses on that by saying come here, and basically just acting like a child would, and constantly kneeling down, getting onto down to people's eye levels like a dad would if he was trying to play with his son. And while that's going on, in order to try and, I guess, earn Towa and Bamba's trust, Ko stole the map of where the Kishiryu temples are, and tries to find their respective Kishiryu. Let's see, Saber Tiger and Me Needle, I think that's what they're called. Basically to go and show that they want basically just as a sign of trust. Which gets Melto, Asuna, and Ui and her Ui's dad more than a little bit miffed, since they thought that they lost the map. But basically the Venusaur grows, and it's actually Towa that goes and tells Bamba not to go and kill the dad that spawned the Venusaur. Since, well, yeah, basically, it looks like whatever Ko's doing, it's working. Since, yeah, basically, well, the three main Ryu soldiers are not keen to, well, murder civilians in order to stop stop the Minosaurs. Like actual heroes might, yeah, I'm surprised that it's taking these three in order to convince Toa that killing that the whole getting rid of a weed by pulling it up from the roots isn't the way. A solution isn't the way to go here. But yeah, they managed to go in. Well, yeah, basically they stopped the Minosaur. Toa looks like Toa and Bamba find their respective Kishiryu, and well, it looks like they might start joining together come next episode, where Tank Joe apparently it's the fifth episode, and apparently is already the final fight with Tank Joe. Guessing he was just the appetizer for the Druidons, I guess. Yeah, unless I'm forgetting something, that's pretty much it. So, Zio is a flaming bag of dog turds. Power Rangers Beast Morphers is starting to, well, it's shaping up big time. And Ryusoulger, well, it's starting, well, by the next episode, hopefully the five-man team starts to come together. So, in our news, the sky is blue, the grass is green. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? See ya.